Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the final set from the B&M Summer Range, which is in fact the History of the Daleks set number 7, which is based on the story The Day of the Daleks, featuring a debut release of the gunmetal grey Dalek, which is something people have been praying for many years, and a third release of the Gold Supreme Dalek, or Chief Dalek, or whatever you want to call it. Now, you may be racking your brains around thinking, hang on a minute, isn't there supposed to be a sixth set? Have we missed out on a set? Have numbers changed and we don't count 6 as a number anymore? Well, the reasoning for this is that Alduar has stated that he didn't want two sets of Daleks which are practically identical on the shelves at the same time, so some mixing around has been done here so that we could finally have some 70s Daleks. But don't worry, I can assure all collectors out there that number 6 is on its way at some point. It's just a matter of where and when, considering the crisis of not having many lorry drivers in the country being an issue. So if we move aside from all that, let's firstly get the least exciting bit out of the way and look at the packaging. As ever, we get the exact same style guide, which is on all of the other history sets. You know, the TARDIS and logo on the side, the title of the set on the bottom, with the limited edition foil sticker, a little red tag stating that this set is based on the Day of the Daleks, as well as the year of broadcasting. And on the back, you also have some publicity images of the Daleks and a synopsis about the story, as well as some additional information about the props themselves. Pause if you want to read it. Again, it is really nice for fans as it gives them the chance to know how the props changed over time. And then opening up the box, you also have this really lovely backdrop diorama from the story itself, which is based on the tunnels that were the main focal point in the latter part of the story. Again, you also have some little Easter eggs that Mr. Dwar put in here, such as the Ogrons retreating back in the tunnel because they can't really tell what day of the week it is, the lovely rendition of the Time Vortex, which seems to be a 3.75-inch Dalek for some reason, a Federation security robot from Blake's 7, as Alduar is a massive fan of Blake's 7, just like myself. And if you look into the right corner, you have for some reason an Ogre from the Stones of Blood. I don't really know why it's there. I wasn't really the graphic designer. But this is always a nice place to display the Daleks if you wanted to. Taking the figures out of the box, they are what you get with any other Dalek figure, but with just different paint jobs and tooling, which does look rather stunning on both of these guys, and like I said, this is actually the first time that we actually get one of these drones that was based on this story. And the only time we were close to having one of these was in the sound effects wave, where they did release one from Planet of the Daleks. They did pretty much miss a trick here, as it's almost identical from the ones from Genesis, but we can finally rest easy now as we finally have one. As well as that, you also have an updated version of the Gold Dalek that is more accurate this time round. So taking a look at the more eye-catching figure, which is a brand new variant, and it's one that people wanted for quite some time now, and finally having it in hand, it's quite a nice little variant. It does look like they have shrunken down one of the life-size props into figure form. It kind of looks a bit black on camera, but in person the colour is in fact grey. They have gone all the way trying to get this accurate, and I can't fault it whatsoever. It does look more menacing with this colour design instead of later ones, just like in Genesis when it was just a flat grey, and they just looked rather tacky in my opinion. In my eyes, this is definitely the more threatening version of a Dalek, as they should be. Starting as ever from the top, the dome consists on having the two new dome lights, which are in fact Mini Cooper lights that we used. And you can see all the nice little ridges there, which seem to be cast in a clear resin plastic. And then when we take a look at the eye stalk, which again is a generic 70s looking one, with the silver running through most of the tube, as well as the light blue discs, which is in fact a more accurate paint colour. And on the front you also have the glossy black eyeball, with the pupil and the white ring going around it. The next section, again, is the same on all the other toys. You have all the grating to represent the mesh. As well as that, you also have the rings and the support rods painted in the gunmetal grey. Again, it looks very nice, and all the paint apps seem to be all neat and tidy. And then taking a look at the midsection, it's all been painted in the same colour, and that goes for the slats, the mesh, and the gun. The plunger is, however, painted in silver, all the way down to the ball joint, with the plunger itself being painted in a matte black. And then moving down to the skirt, it also has been painted in the same colour as the rest of the body, but the hemispheres have been painted in a glossy black colour, which also looks very nice. Doesn't seem to be any paint bleeds or whatever, and it's just all very nice and crisp. And then taking a look at the fender, it is actually two tiers. The bottom half is supposed to represent the fact that they actually used bin liners to hide the wheels of the prop itself. Overall, it's really nice that we finally have a Dalek drone to represent what we had seen in that story. I really love the design itself, and I may track down another set just so that I could have another one of these drones. Just a quick update, while I was editing this review, my girlfriend has actually bought me another set, so now I do have two. Now we come to the re-release of this set, which is in fact the Supreme Dalek. This is actually the third time that this figure has been released, the first time being in the second classic Dalek collector set many moons ago, and then it was released again in a B&M set, which was in fact a re-release of the Dalek collector set, which had a few changes, but it still wasn't as accurate. This version has just improved all the faults from the previous one, and it did have a few inaccuracies, such as the neck section not being painted black, which was supposed to be gold, and we finally have that corrected here. The paint on the body as well is just much more of a vibrant gold, but you'll have to take my word for it, as my older one is now packed in a box. But you can definitely tell that there is a difference here. Just like the drone, the metallic paint is superb. The golden sheen on this is magnificent. Like I said, the main update on this set is the fact that we have the gold mesh around the neck, which I'm glad, as it was something that fans have been wanting for quite a while. I mean, I know it's only a small gripe, and it may not be an issue for people who only really buy certain sets, but the fact that they've paid attention to such minor details is just wonderful. And it does seem that they're trying to get these sets in particular to look how they were on screen. Starting from the dome, it is exactly the same, just like the drone. He has his mini Cooper lights. The same with the eye stalk, just with the pivot section being painted gold instead of grey. Everything else, again, is exactly the same, with the silver on the plunger and on the ball joints, and the gloss black hemispheres, and the two-step fender. One part matte, and the other part glossy. But another little detail is that they have actually painted the top fender gold, just like how it was in the show. So it's amazing that they actually added that minor detail in. Again, a very nice Dalek. I'm so glad to have another one of these. It doesn't really mean I'll retire my older version, as I'll probably most likely put it next to the Supreme Dalek and the sound effects Dalek on the shelf. It'll probably just mean I'll just put the other Dalek with the Planet of the Daleks one and the Supreme Dalek from that story as well. Quickly looking at articulation, it's the same on any other Dalek toy. The dome can swivel, the eye stalk can pivot up and down, the gun and plunger arm are on ball joints, so you can move them around freely. And it also has 3 wheels on the bottom, with the front one making the Dalek move any direction you want it to go. So that's it. Overall, I think it's a very lovely set, and it's definitely something for fans if you missed out on the originals, and also it's a plus for having a new variant of Dalek that has never been released officially. The gold Dalek is definitely an improvement, what with all that business with the neck bin, the more vibrant gold paint that has been applied here, and the fact that they tried to make it as accurate as possible to match its on-screen counterpart. The drone itself is a welcoming variant that was something that us fans have been praying for many years, and it just looks lovely. So that is pretty much it with these sets that are available. They're all available now in B&M. I know there is a slight issue with the distributions of the sets down south, but they are slowly getting to each part of the country. But it is just the nature of the beast with how things are in the world at the moment. So just be a little bit more patient, but they should start to appear in stores near you. I have really enjoyed what we've had this year so far, and what with the introduction of the 60s monsters made in figure form, as well as Ian Chesterton himself. Oh, it's just so amazing that we have these as toys. Hopefully soon we'll be getting more information on what is supposed to be coming out very soon. There's already been a leak online with one of the Autumn Wave sets, and all I can say, it looks amazing. So hopefully we should be seeing those in stores at some point, but Lord knows when. So that is pretty much it for this review. Thanks for all watching, and stay tuned for more reviews later on in the year, and happy hunting. Bye for now.